Welcome back to Realm Painters. So this video is a bit more special. I'm finally starting my Belisarius project. I've painted almost all of my Mechanicus army, however, I just never felt that I was worthy of painting Belisarius quite yet. However, after a year of painting Mechanicus so far, I feel like I now have the experience of painting them to finally get my hands on Belisarius. But letting you know, this isn't a tutorial, this is more of a paint along. I just thought that doing a whole tutorial on a guy that I haven't painted yet just would not be the best combo. But if you're interested, we do have some Mechanicus tutorials on our channel right now, one with the Skitari, another with a Taraxi. So if you're interested, just check those out, and we'll probably do more later on. But Belly may be a big guy, but he shouldn't take that long to paint, right?
The beginning.
So this day I spent researching on how I should do his base. For Belisarius, I want to do a bit more than just a plain Mars base. While talking with Jared about it, he suggested having Belly walking into a lab. I thought that was a neat idea, so I went ahead and looked at some base references online. I've done Mars bases before, but I just want to do something a little extra special for him. I found some interesting ideas on Google Images and went ahead on my iPad to doodle some ideas. I think I'll try and make the industrial lab side with some big popsicle sticks and then some extra sprue bits we have in the sprue box. I think I'll use some of the rocks that I made out of clay for the base as well. By the way, if you are interested in realistic clay rocks, we do have a tutorial on our YouTube channel, so if you're interested, go check that out.
Knowledge obtained.
On to the big boy himself. So at first, what I did was I wanted to paint him by color. However, with painting all of those copper bits, I just decided painting by object would be a bit better for my brain, because painting all that copper in one go was my brain just went. So I decided to paint his little spider guy in his book. I had a blast painting the spider guy and especially the book. I decided going against the box art for the book since I feel like it would look even better with a dark brown base instead of the original black. I also decided to use one of my many Mechanicus transfer sheets and use a few on the spine. With my experience with the painting of the windows in the Argonaut frigate boat from our past video, I figured out how to paint a gradient on a sphere, which I used for the spider's blue globe. But oh man, so when I was starting this video, soon after I started it, my motivation just crashed. Because I've never made a paint-along video before, so I was just getting too much into my head where my motivation just kind of jumped out the window. So it was bad enough to where I actually made the Taraxi painting tutorial just so we would have a video done in time, because I just couldn't do it. But at least we were able to get a video out for that day.
The Omnissiah provides.
So this day was when my motivation started to slowly crawl back to me, which in turn, you know what I decided to do? I tried to start painting by color again. So I started painting the black parts like the tubes in his cane. Alas, my motivation did not last. I decided that again, painting sections would be best rather than by color. So I painted his red bulky arm, following the way I painted the Mechanicus dune crawler. By the way, if you are interested in a tutorial for the dune crawler, let us know and we'll maybe do in the future. We'll see. Anyways.
The rights of armament.
On day 7, I moved on to his other gun, which has a solar atomizer, and I had a fun time painting the plasma. And I had a fun time painting this section because of the blue plasma. It's simple to do since the bright blue contrasts so well with this metallic and red body. I painted plasma before, but for some reason, painting Belly's specific gun gave me a lot of joy and motivation to paint more. Continuing with the contrast colors, I then painted the wires. And like the coil, they're pretty simple to do, but I have a ton of fun painting all those different colors, which has like the reds, the blues, and the greens, and it was just a good time. Like I said in the beginning of the video, my motivation throughout this project was really iffy, mainly because I haven't made this type of video before, so I just couldn't figure out how I should go about doing it, but just painting the plasma and the coils really helped me through that part of the painting process, and it helped me clear my head for the next section.
Rituals of the Red Planet.
It's time for the main attraction, the big, beautiful Belisarius cloak. Fortunately for me, I really enjoy painting red as my two main armies, Mechanicus and Sisters, both have tons of red cloaks. So at this point in my painting journey, I've become what critics call a master. Not really. Following the theme with the coil and wires, the experience I've had with painting red cloaks really helped me with my motivation headspace. By the time I was getting close to finishing the cloak, I was starting to enjoy the process of painting him a lot, but I started to regret making it into a video. Mainly because I was just struggling to figure out what I would say during the process of painting, since while I'm painting, my head is just blank. There's nothing going on now, up there. I kind of just zone out, but here we are.
The final rites of Magos.
At this point, the main chunks of Belly were painted. I spent all of this day and the next doing the final touches, which include many buckets of Nolan oil and endless gallons of coffee. On a more serious note, it took 2 days because I kept going back, finding random pieces unpainted due to his general spindliness. The closer I got to finishing him, the more excited I was to start painting his base.
Archmagos Belisarius Cawl.
This day was spent entirely making the base. To get ahead of the game while I was doing the research, I already glued the popsicle sticks onto the base and also the clay rocks that I made earlier. And Jared and I have a whole bin of extra bits, so what I used was a skull, a Necron spine, a hand, and also some tubes. These tubes were originally from my Archaeopter kit, but they work really well as just cool tubes on the ground, essentially. For some reason, I really enjoy painting bases. One of the main reasons I enjoy it is that I get to improvise the painting process a lot. It's basically controlled chaos. I used a lot of dry brushing as it's a good way to implement that controlled chaos theory. If you're interested, we do have a full tutorial for dry brushing, and you get to listen to Jared rant about controlled chaos. As of day 11, Belly is done. I'm glad I waited to paint Belly until I was confident in painting miniatures, because I just really needed to give him the detail and respect he deserves, basically. But if you are interested in more of these paint-along videos, leave a like and subscribe. Jared is planning on making a similar video on his birthday, so stay tuned for that. But I think that's all I have for you today, so as always, see you in the next realm.